Well, hey, we're back, and I wanted to pop in here for a minute because I want to talk a little bit about a word. The word is ally. Now, what's happened around the country has its evilness has darkened my community, my door. As a matter of fact, probably right now, outside this window, just a few miles down the street, there is rioting going on, confrontation between the police and a large crowd. I am still under the impression, and I am still believing the fact that this confrontation was started by exterior forces and not people who were having the peaceful protest, basically 4 or 5 peaceful protests all over Tampa today. I just am under the impression that what's happening here is not organic. But that's not the word today. The word today is ally. I see in these protests, and just the last clip I watched, it was not an angry young black man who was all up in the face of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's officer. It was a hooded, masked um, white person. And I saw in the clips all day long um, people who are white, frankly. I mean, if you're going to have this discussion, we're going to have to talk like that. And some of them had signs up that they were allies. Well, let me tell you what an ally is. An ally is one that is associated with another as a helper, a person or a group that provides assistance and support in an ongoing effort or struggle. Ongoing effort or struggle. So, where are these allies? Seriously. So, where are these allies when people who are in underserved communities are fighting like hell to be able to send their kids to non failing schools? Where are these allies? Hmm? Where are these allies when their communities are being gentrified and they're being kicked out of areas, literally being kicked out of areas by government, so we could put up high rise, expensive apartments that some of our allies are now using as their new places of residence? So, where are. So now you're my ally? I'll tell you what an ally isn't. An ally is not a person that will will condone or help you actually cause physical harm to your own community. That is not your ally. A person who suggests that the way to blow off some steam is to burn down some stuff in your neighborhood. The ally doesn't take you to their neighborhood. They help you burn down stuff and tear up stuff in your own neighborhood. They're not your ally. Folks, we have to be super. I was on the radio this afternoon. We have to be incredibly careful of forces that are directing people's minds and emotions at this point. We are not, a lot of us aren't thinking clearly. The emotion of the situation is dominating, and everything right now is very short term. The only problem is that life is not short term, life is long term, and we have to play the long game. And right now, there are a lot of voices out there telling you that there's no reason to play the long game. Well, not playing the long game is why we're still having the incidents that we're having currently in America, across all racial groups. Because We have been led by politicians and media not to play the long game. The long game is to get into positions of power, get into positions that change policy, get into positions that set up different kinds of training. And this is not just for the police force, but this is for the fire department. This is for in the educational system. This is in the healthcare industry. This is in every nook and cranny of our community. This idea that you can expect your oppressor to somehow be your liberator is foolish. It's foolish. So, folks, first of all, scrutinize allies. Scrutinize allies, or people who say they're your ally. Scrutinize their intentions and their motives. Second of all, we got to play the long game. We have to educate. We have to use that same energy that you see out in all these major cities, Tampa included, Tampa, Atlanta, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Los Angeles, Portland. That same energy, and put that energy into making sure that our children are educated properly, making sure that our communities are taken care of and our communities are maintained and preserved. That they're not gentrified and people are kicked out of their homes and put into situations that are untenable for them. That same energy. That same energy to protect us sometimes from one another. I wish I could have avoided that, but there's no way to avoid it. That same energy to take care of our elderly. That same energy to make sure that that healthcare is being provided, that clinical trials are being participated in at the same level that they need to be to make sure that we can stay a healthy people. And to make sure that, again, that we scrutinize our allies, and to make sure that we play the long game, not just participate in the chaos. I saw the mayor of Atlanta in a clip from yesterday begging people not to tear down Atlanta, because this is not who we need to be. She didn't say this. I don't want to say this is not who we are, because what you do is who you are. But this is definitely not who we want to be. This is not the person. This is not the condition that we want our kids to look at and say this is the correct way to do things. This is not who we want to be. This is not what we want our community to be looked at. This isn't. My name is Billy Lawson, fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com. You can catch me every Monday through Friday on Spreaker and Spotify for the morning report. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.